Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for bringing this bill to the floor. Scripture reminds us that at the beginning of time, God created mankind as males and females, and he blessed them. All throughout humanity, we have recognized as a species that there are women and there are men, as God created, who are obviously biologically different and, dare I say, scientifically different. Even science agrees with this premise. Yet our culture and civilization continue to be subjected to the perverse lie that there are more than two genders, or that men can be women, or women can be men. The distinction between men and women is clear and evident. And the erasure of this division has been promulgated by those in the radical left who seek to dismantle the core foundation of our society. We must never let our country and the American way of life surrender to this immoral ideology. What a shame it is that over the last several years, the radical left has tried to corrupt the minds of many Americans with the ideology that gender is just a spectrum, that it's fluid. You can be whatever you want, whenever you want, depending on how you feel. To them, it's just a social construct. The radical left has taken gender identity so far that many on the left can't even define what a woman is, for fear of retribution or cancellation by transgender activists. They have adopted completely made-up terms, such as non-binary, trans male, trans female. Some even say there are 74 genders. 74. Everything from agender to omnigender. There's even an astral gender, which is having a gender identity where you feel related to outer space. How can the radical left be able to identify that gender, yet they can't even define what a woman is? Not too long ago, progressives would say all that's ridiculous, but today it's their religion. And if you question their lies and fictitious terms, you're labeled a transphobic bigot and canceled. In giving homage to the trans movement, radical leftists have given way to the corruption of the minds of our nation's youth by dismantling the very protections that Congress created to ensure fairness in education and athletics. In 1972, Congress created Title IX to protect women's sports and to give women their own playing field in athletics. In worship to their trans idols, radical leftists want to kill Title IX, abandoning women across the country. Parents don't want biological men in locker rooms with their daughters, nor do they believe it's fair that a male can compete with women in female athletics. This is why Title IX protections were implemented in the first place. Radical leftists want you to believe that this is never happening, or it's so rare we shouldn't be concerned. The other side just made a comment about so few of these people are involved in college athletics. The truth of the matter proves otherwise. In my very own district, my constituent, Emma Wyant, an incredibly talented swimmer and Olympic medalist, lost a 2022 NCAA Women's Swimming Championship title for the 500-meter freestyle by less than 2 seconds. The man who beat her formerly competed for years on the men's swimming team and took home that title after identifying as a woman. It's a sad day in our country when radical leftists are willing to erase the rights that women have fought decades to obtain, all to elevate biological males to the top of women's platforms. An overwhelming majority of Americans believe that men don't belong in women's sports and that we must allow common sense to prevail. This bill will deliver upon the mandate the American people gave Congress to restore the integrity of women's sports just as Title IX intended. Now is our time to act. If my liberal colleagues truly believe in supporting women's rights, as they often tout, they will vote in favor of this bill. I encourage my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to stand for women's free and fair opportunities in athletics and to stand for truth, not lies. I yield back.
I reserve.